Well, hello. Good morning to you. It's morning here when I'm taping this, and it's not very normal for me to be up this early. I can hear the birds singing, and it's kind of brings me back to when I used to go to school. So today we're actually taking the Tesla Model X to the service center for the fourth time. Well, if you happen to catch one of my last videos, I had taken it in because the frunk was not opening, and I took it in, but there was also a slight knocking sound on the driver's side. Not all the time, but sometimes when I was driving, I think when the body flexed, you would hear a knock, so it sounded like something was loose, maybe the inside panel for the door. But supposedly they repaired that. I don't hear it as much anymore, but I do hear it a little bit. So I'm gonna have to take a look at it again, but that's not a big deal. I mean, it's something that's really intermittent, and it's usually if I'm not listening to music, because these cars are so quiet, because you don't hear a motor or anything, any little sound that comes from the vehicle, it's gonna be magnified, because that's all you hear when you're driving the car. So today we're actually gonna take it in order to have a body panel looked at. All right, so this is why I'm bringing it in. Supposedly they did something to this door in order to fix that knocking sound. They supposedly removed some panels or anything. I'm not sure if this is something I just didn't notice it before, or if this was done by them doing whatever they did. But if you look from here, you can already see it from an angle. This gap here, this is the fender. The front fender is a lot more raised than the door. And I guess I know I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but definitely it's something that's definitely noticeable. You can see it from here. And also I noticed when you're looking from up here, this to me looks like it should be flush. And I think that's why. I mean, it makes sense that this whole thing needs to go in, is the only thing that I'm thinking. So that once this is like that, this whole body panel will go in. I'm guessing, but that gap doesn't look right to me. Well, it's not really the gap, it's just this fender is a lot higher than the door. So that's what I'm bringing it in for. It's nothing big, but the car's under warranty, and I want to make sure that everything gets fixed before I take it in. So I'm going up there, I'm gonna drop it off. Same thing, they're doing contactless delivery. So they've already sent me text messages back and forth, and they're letting me know how the process is going to be. They're pretty clear about it. I'm not going to go into the service center. Somebody will come out to my car. They most likely will give me a rental. They don't guarantee. I think they just put that in just in case they don't have a car. They're not liable. But I'm on my way up there, and hopefully I'll drop the car off today, and it'll be done by later today. All right, so just pulled up. Somebody, one of the service techs waved at me and just told me to park right in front. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of sitting here. They're gonna, I guess, looking up my records. The guy's typing away at the computer, and shortly he'll be out here. This is the second time I've done it. So just in preparation, I put my mask on to talk to him, but he'll be out here, and he'll come out here and hopefully give me a loaner car, and I can be out of here. But it looks like there's a car out there. It looks like a Model Y. I'm gonna go take a look once I finished, turning my car in and take a look at it. All right, they actually have a Model Y out here. This is actually my first look at the Model Y. Looks really similar to the Model 3. It's just a little taller. See the wheels. Doesn't say Model Y on it, but definitely looks very different. Now you can see the hatch. That's how you can tell it's definitely a Model Y. See the wheels. It's hard to see the interior, but yeah, this whole thing opens up, so you can tell here. This is really much longer here than it is on this car here. So, because honestly, they look a lot alike. This one's slightly taller though. All right, so there's your Model Y, there's your Model 3. They're pretty similar. Model Y just seems to be a little narrower. I don't know, maybe it's just the way that the windows tinted. But when I first pulled up, I thought they were both Model 3s. And then eventually I started noticing a little bit of differences. I mean, definitely the height. Model Y is a little taller, but you know, the seats, obviously everything, you know, once you get close up, it looks a little different. But it's pretty nice, it's pretty small. You know, I thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger, but it's definitely taller by a little bit. But I'm impressed. You can see it there. It's pretty nice looking. All right, so that's it for dropping off the car. Got to see the Model Y. It was, you know, it was my first time actually seeing it in person. It's really similar to the Model 3, you know, and honestly, I thought it was the Model 3. You know, I had to actually go up. There's nothing on it that tells you it's a Model Y, which is interesting. I don't know if they debadged it or if that's how they are, but I definitely thought it was a Model 3. It was sitting right next to one, but it, you know, because it was right next to a Model 3, I could tell the difference because it was a little bit taller. But I think if it hadn't been next to a Model 3, I probably just would have passed by it and not realized that it was a Model Y. So that's kind of interesting because you really think that, you know, you want to differentiate, I guess, what kind of car or what model you have. But it did have a dealer plate on it, so I'm guessing it might be their demo, you know, car. So anyways, the car is there, my Model X is there, and they're taking a look at it, and hopefully it'll be done by the end of the day. But interestingly enough, this Model X that I got is one that I have gotten before because it's got the same dent. So apparently the rental cars, people beat them and they don't repair them, because this is the exact same car. It's got the dent in the exact same place. I have a video where I went to the airport, and you could see the dent in the video, and that dent is still there. So these cars, they're just using them. You know, it's a 2016 90D. That's what I have now. I wish they had given me the P90D, but like they did last time. But this will work. So I'll see you when I get the car back. All right, so I got a call, or actually got a text message from the Tesla service center that the car is ready. It only took about an hour. So by the time I got back to work, you know, about an hour or two later, I got a call or a text message that the car's ready. So I'm on my way back to pick that up. All right, so I'm here picking up the vehicle, and everything looks good. You can see just from here, the lines look good, the gap's there, and so they did a really nice job. You know, everything's even now. So it looks like they worked it out. They did it pretty quickly. Okay, so I am back in the Tesla Model X, and I picked it up. It was a contactless delivery, which means the trunk was, which means the key was in my trunk, and I just used my app on my phone in order to open the trunk, and that way I have access to the key. And you know, it was Graham, the service advisor there. Really nice person, came out, was wearing a mask just to want to make sure that I was happy with the way that the gaps were, and you know, they really definitely treated me well. Everything was very quick. You know, I had the rental car. So everything went pretty smoothly. I'm happy with it. And I got to see the Model Y. Now I asked him if I could get access to it just to see the inside. Maybe they could open it up. You know, from the outside I can take some video of it. And he says, unfortunately, the car is sold. So that's actually a delivery vehicle. The car's sold, so they wouldn't let me have access to it, which is good. You know, I'm glad that they're, you know, taking the precautions. And obviously, if it's a sold car, nobody else should be really taking a look at it. So that's my experience around, you know, and I got to see the Model Y, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching the video of it. First impressions, you know, it's very similar to the Model 3. The door handles are the same, so it's even hard to tell, you know, other than it being a little bit taller, you know, that it's a Model 3, that it's a Model Y. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And I just want to thank you all for watching. You all take care. Stay safe.